Hello, I'm Shiva, a former software engineer with a recent informal education in neuroscience who's become a science history investigator. My specialization is in the history of theoretical physics, and I'm working on multiple simultaneous projects in video, audio, and written media, which are for the purpose of exposing a revolution brewing in the background of mainstream physics, a revolution which will not only impact all our energy-based technologies, but also change the way we look at consciousness and AI. Thanks for visiting my Patreon page. And for those of you who may be unfamiliar with this site, Patreon is the place that you go to support the small artists and projects you believe in. Perhaps you're familiar with the Medici family and their support of scholarship and the arts that almost single-handedly created the Renaissance. Though few of us have the sort of resources to shape the world in such a dramatic fashion, Patreon allows multiple people to come together as a group to provide the resources needed for projects which would otherwise languish. Firstly, I'm using Patreon with the intent to supplement my income while I continue to put in the tremendous hours of study and research required to put together all the tangled pieces of history surrounding complex theories and communicate that story in a fashion anyone can understand. Furthermore, I hope to expand my current lecturing, activism, and freely available web authoring, while working towards a series of books exposing a little-known alternative interpretation of current experimental data in physics, which, because of the social pressures of orthodoxy on systems of publication and science communication, has not yet been brought to a broader audience in any cohesive fashion. While I hope to provide regular newsletters and video content, my lack of resources thus far has kept me alternating my efforts towards all these various projects without being able to strongly focus upon a single production. In the interest of providing some monthly content I will be sharing with my patrons, much of the various little-known research and history I'm digging through live as I work toward finishing my book. As my patron base grows, I will be looking to my patrons for their interest in various regular content as a barometer for how to best focus my efforts. What do I hope to accomplish? With your help, I should be able to attend various conferences and share not only the excitement about this radical new view of science, but also raise awareness for various new experiments that can be done to further our understanding of the universe. Together, I think we can overcome the feedback loop of funding orthodoxy and make science back into a thing that really questions itself again. Perhaps this will even get to the level of realizing my dream of funding my own lab and performing at least some of the experiments that I've already designed. In a time where mankind must overcome an exponentially growing list of world-destroying problems, I think we can bring a fresh new perspective which will open doors to fertile grounds of research that will exponentially grow our ability to face the big problems. We need this, and we can do this. For those of you who decide to help out, I'd like to show my gratitude through sneak peeks, early content releases, and live online discussions. Though I'll be making the first chapter of my book available for all my patrons, some of the larger contributors will be able to give their feedback on the book as it grows and play an interactive role in its production. I'll be looking to my patrons for some other suggestions for rewards, and some of the larger contributors I hope to provide some sort of physical souvenirs for their contribution to the project as well. Would you like to know more? I've written some descriptions of the projects in my Patreon profile, but I also have numerous videos, websites, and other presentations of the larger project and its multi-pronged approach. I'll make sure to provide lots of links and other content for you to peruse absolutely free, because I know once you start to get a good idea of the breadth and depth of what I'm working on, you'll be infected with my enthusiasm too. Discovering hidden truth is practically a drug, and I know you share my addiction.